We're going to move to question 5. Now, for me, this is probably the strangest question.
Okay.
And I'm going to help you with the technique here, hopefully, okay? Now, what happens is, again, we're back on a university campus. We've got a man and a woman, my Canadian friends, and one of them has got a problem, okay? Now, the problems often are connected to, well, always connected to life in university. Maybe the man doesn't have enough money because he can't afford all of the new books. Or maybe he wants his girlfriend to come and live in the student halls and he doesn't know what to do. So what he does is he tells his friend about his problem, and his friend is very nice and he or she gives that friend some advice.
Okay.
All right? Then you listen to that conversation and you've got to take notes. Now, in terms of taking notes, I think it makes sense, again, to write the M sign for the man and then the W for the woman. All right? Just pay attention to this. Now, when you start speaking, this time I want you to give me 20, 20, and 20. Now, what I mean is, I want you to tell me 20 seconds, what is the problem? 20 seconds, what are the solutions or advice that she offers? The final 20, and this is included in the question, is what you would do.
Okay.
Okay? Is that quite clear?
Yes.
I want you to really watch the clock with this one. Now, it doesn't have to be exactly 20, 20, 20, but that would give you a nice even answer. Is that quite clear?
Yes.
So just to repeat that, 20 seconds on the problem, 20 seconds on the solutions, and 20 seconds about what you would do. Now, in terms of your note-taking this time, let's see if you can write slightly shorter notes, but retain the same amount of information.
Okay.
All right, Isabel. I'll read the question for you. Listen to a student talking to a friend about a problem she has. Describe the problem. What suggestions does her friend make? Which of the options would you take and why?
Okay.
Here's the conversation, Isabel.
Hey, Sarah! What's up? You look like you got the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Oh, sorry, Mike. It's just things at home. I've got a bit of an issue with my roommate.
Who, John? I thought you guys were getting along. What happened? Are you guys fighting?
No, not exactly. It's nothing serious. It's just that he's using the Wi-Fi connection all of the time.
So, what's the big deal? You can't share?
Yeah, sure I can share, but it's not that. For one, he doesn't pay for it. I set up the connection before he moved in, and I'm still paying for it every month. I already asked him to chip in and help out, but so far I haven't seen a dime.
I see. That's not ideal.
And that's not all. He's constantly downloading all day and all night, so the internet speed is so sluggish. When he's out at school, the downloads are still going. I don't know what he's downloading, but I'm kind of worried that he's going to get me into some kind of trouble. It's probably just movies, but it's not exactly legal. I don't mind sharing, I really don't, but this is too much to deal with. I need that connection to get my research done, you know?
It's a tough one. Here's what I'd do. I'd just tell him that unless he starts paying his way, you're going to have to change the password, so that he won't be able to use it at all.
You think?
Absolutely. Or you can make up a timetable. Say, like, he can only download stuff during the night, so that you can have optimum speed during the day. That's only fair, right?
Yeah, that's not such a bad idea. I'll give it a shot.
All right. Now, you've got 20 seconds in this question to prepare your answers, Isabel, all right? 20 seconds begins now. And stop. And we'd like to speak for 1 minute. 20, 20, 20.
Yeah.
Time starts now. Go.
Okay. The girl is really annoyed because her flatmate doesn't pay for the Wi-Fi and he always uses it for downloading, and that the speed is really, really bad because and it might be illegal, and she needs a fast internet for research. So the man tells her to maybe change the password, or tell him to pay, and if he doesn't pay, she has to change the password, or set up a timetable so that he only downloads at night, which would make the speed faster for her to do her research during the day. I think that is actually quite a good solution. I would change the password as well if he doesn't pay, because that's really not fair. And he shouldn't download, because that's definitely illegal, and she should tell him to stop doing this unless he sets up his own Wi-Fi and pays for his own Wi-Fi, but not if it's under her name.
Stop.
Mm-hmm.
That was perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I think that this technique of the 20-20-20 did help you to structure your answer.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, really good. Excellent. To be honest, I don't have much criticism at all of that. I think you answered that quite well. What did you feel about the actual conversation? Was it easy to follow?
Yes, it was quite easy.
Now, what I noticed when you your notes was that this time they were worse in a good way. So instead of writing the word password, you wrote PW.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of writing timetable, you wrote TT.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I think that that's a good idea. Mm-hmm. Now, I think during the preparation stage, what you could do is almost do a little timeline of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And, you've actually made quite a good script here. And you could section it. So you could draw a circle around problem, so next to P. Then you could put solutions if you want. And then you could say U.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now one phrase that you can use when you get to the last 20 seconds and you're describing what you would do. Have you ever heard this phrase? If I were in her shoes, or if I were in your shoes. Yeah. That's kind of appropriate, I think, for this type of question, because it's basically saying an if conditional sentence. So if I were in her shoes, would it be I will or I would?
I would.
Why would we use would?
Because it's an if sentence.
It's a?
Because it's an if sentence, and
yeah.
That's why. Because you're not doing it, but you...
It's not real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this is called, I don't know if you remember
Condition.
this, second conditional.
Okay.
And the second conditional is a hypothetical or an imaginary situation. But you knew that naturally anyway, so that's good. All right. Now, during this speaking, they used a lot of phrases and a lot of sort of slang language. For example, I heard them say, he doesn't even chip in. What does that mean, to chip in?
To pay for it.
Or
as
to
well.
contribute.
Contribute, yeah.
She said, I haven't seen a dime. What's a dime?
$1.
Yeah, it's. To be honest, I don't actually know the value, but I think it's like a small amount. I think it's like maybe 5 cents.
Oh, okay.
I think. Sorry for people in America that I don't know that. But okay, but yeah, we can see that they're using quite complicated vocabulary, but you don't need to copy it, so it doesn't really matter. And because of context, you were able to understand everything, but you didn't actually need to repeat any of that stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So how do you feel about question 5?
I think that's actually easier.
I think it's really easy, and I think that once you know about this 20-20-20, I think it's a pretty easy question to follow.
Yeah.
So what I recommend to people at home is follow the same structure. All right.